Welcome back to In Real Life Adventures. My name's Dan.
And I'm Krista.
In today's episode, we wanted to do a little get to know us and our pets and learn about our journey and how we got here. I'll start off today with my story. I was homeschooled, and at age 14, I started working at my neighbor's auto mechanic shop. This was an extracurricular activity that my mom thought would be good for me, and I absolutely loved it. I ended up pursuing it all the way into college, and it is currently still the industry that I work in remotely from home.
And then when I got my first job at 16, I was actually working in a pet store. So I have been used to being around animals ever since I started working. I kind of transitioned from working with the small animals and the dogs and stuff in the store to becoming a groomer in 2007. And that is actually when we first started dating. I started a new relationship, and I also started a new version of my career. So, we ended up getting together right as that was happening. So a lot changed for us. We started dating. 4 months later, we moved in together. 6 months later, we were engaged. And then 2 years later, we got married.
Yep. And then we just began this journey of life together. And
Yep.
We both have always had the desire to travel. We've always enjoyed exploring and hiking and getting out in nature and seeing new things. And actually, where we ended up getting engaged was Great Falls. Krista had never been there. Mm-hmm. I'd been many times as a kid climbing over the rocks and watching beautiful. The rapids. And we just decided, at one point in our lives that that's really what we enjoyed and what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And we kind of spent years researching, trying to figure out how can we do this?
Yeah, it all started with me because I really got into, watching people do van life and traveling and sharing their experiences and places they've seen. The United States is so big. And in 2019, I actually went on a road trip with his mom all the way from Virginia to Montana and back. And we saw so much. We went to the Badlands, we went to, Yellowstone, we went to Glacier National Park, and having those experiences with her and, kind of being able to explore and see those things along the way fueled that fire so deep to where I could not stop talking about it. And I kept we could do this, we could figure it out, but it was the whole figuring out what jobs we could do to make it happen. So
yeah, that was the difficult part was, making it a reality. We saw all these people doing it. We saw, that it is possible, but we just thought with, the jobs and the industries that we were in, we just didn't think it was a possibility. And, I kind of got a fire up my butt one day and just started searching for remote jobs. And it was probably a good 6 months of searching to where I finally found a job in my industry that I could do remote and could do this lifestyle. And then we needed to find something for Krista.
And he actually found the position that I have of the company that I work for. Because as you are looking for a remote job, it can become disheartening. Trying to figure out what you want to do, how you can transition into with the skills that you have and that are physical things that you have to do. Yeah. Of trying to figure out a way to make that to where you could find a remote position. So between him and God, they found it for me.
Yes, it was a lot of searching and digging through, job, listings. And, only thing I can say is it is nothing I did. It was a blessing for us to be able to find them.
Yeah.
All I can say for anybody out there that is trying to do this lifestyle or is trying to be, in the remote, workforce, don't give up. Just keep searching, keep plucking away, keep filling out applications. You'll
find it.
It will come along. You will find it. And, don't give up on your dream. And that I think was what kind of drove me to keep searching, because after that many months, a lot of people would have just kind of given up because
and just stayed doing whatever they're already doing.
The day-to-day 9 to 5, brick and mortar and, travel when you can on vacation. And we knew that wasn't what we wanted, because we want to go and experience places like Montana and out west. And to be able to go from Virginia to out west, you have to fly. like you can't do that drive and be back in a week and be able to enjoy it.
It took us 2 weeks to get all the way out there and drive all the way back. So, a lot of companies don't allow you to use 2 weeks at a time. So yeah, so that had kind of like fueled that. He got a remote job first. And then because he wasn't working at the place he was anymore, he had more time. And we started traveling together, going to Tennessee, going to,
West Virginia,
Maryland. Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So we actually got to do a little bit of traveling, and, that fueled our fire to want to do it even more. And then in 2024, we ended up getting, Shorty. And, we actually had looked at Cruise America before because, we've been doing research for years. And they do sell off their used fleet, but they are more beefed up because they are rented. So, we decided that we wanted something like that. We didn't want to have to, we did look into potentially like doing a renovation or a mini bus or something like that. But that's, a lot of people have a lot of skills to do that. Some don't and learn it along the way, but then it can take a year or two or anything like that just to even be able to travel a little bit. And we didn't want to go that route, but we did learn a lot in the process.
We did, and we picked up a lot of information and things that we did or didn't want, with our RV. And, after we went twice to look at the Cruise America RVs, we really were kind of impressed with just how sturdily built they were. And, I have a mechanical background, not carpentry. So, if it comes to like building things and carpentry stuff, that is not my niche. And
you also wanted to make sure that it was gas.
Yes, not a diesel.
Not a diesel.
Not a dually. These are things that I know from like, my mechanical background. I didn't want to have to deal with diesel and dually, setups because those parts are always bigger and heavier. And I've already got a bad back from years of working in the mechanical industry. Yeah. I didn't want to have to deal with the oversized parts that come with those rigs. So that's one of the reasons why we went for, the smaller of the, RV, fleet, but also we wanted it to be small enough that we could get into any park out there.
Yeah, because a lot of like national parks or state parks, they really have, a limit of what can fit in certain spaces or what you're allowed to have. And the fact that Shorty is 20 feet and then our towable car on the back, that kind of puts it right at that 26 feet. So we wanted to be able to have both. So that way you don't have to drive the place that you're staying everywhere. That way we had a little something we could go explore in.
Yeah, and it worked out really good for us because we have that separate vehicle so we can do the exploration, but also with them hooked together, it was still small enough that it can fit in a parking lot. You can get into a Walmart to restock. You stop at a Cracker Barrel. All of these things are accessible to you to where if we had a big Class A, towing a car behind it, we're not getting in those places. We're not getting in some parks. And it was funny when we were doing some of the trips this summer, when we were telling people the size of our rigs, they would just kind of bust out laughing like, oh, you'll fit, don't worry about it, because we're so small. So that was a nice thing to find out that we're not going to run into too many issues, and it makes it easier for us.
Yeah. And, because we got to, do it last year and live in it and, kind of get the feel of what it was like to, work and live in it. We kind of figured out that we could do it. And then after continuing to do it, we were like, we are thriving. We're thriving because every time we would get off work, we would go out and explore. We'd go for walks. The dogs help us with, definitely going out and exploring even more. And they enjoy all the enrichment from, being able to sniff a million different places and, see different paths and different animals that are in the woods and stuff. So, we definitely jumped on board with that. So that's why we also wanted to introduce you guys to our little pups.
Yeah, so we'll start with the oldest one first, and then we'll work our way to the youngest. So if you want to grab Bugs.
So this one, come here, buddy.
This is our old man.
This is Bentley, aka Bugs, Bentley Buggins, and so like I said, I was a groomer, and I've been a groomer for about 20 years almost. And he was actually a grooming customer of mine. His owner brought him into me. This poor guy was one giant knot, and I had to shave him naked because of how bad it was. And so, she called me back 3 or 4 months later because, of course, when she came back, I was like, oh my gosh, he's so sweet. He's so cute. I love him so much, that kind of thing. And, she called me back 3 or 4 months later and she said, Krista, I know how much you liked him. I'm getting rid of him. He peed on my couch. I'm done with him. Either I'm giving him to you or I'm taking him to the pound. And my heart could not handle that. So, of course, I did say yes. And then the next phone call was to him to let him know.
And, I mean, she had already said yes. And, I felt bad for the little guy. I did see, she showed me the condition that he was in at that time. And that's not necessarily anything against that owner. A lot of people just don't understand the breed and what, kind of upkeep entails.
Yes.
I didn't know.
She said he was a Bichon, but I think he's actually a Coton de Tulier or like a Bichon Maltese mix.
What she said.
Cotons actually have very cottony hair. So when he is fresh and clean, his hair is nothing but fluff and he's so soft.
It's like a cotton ball.
Yeah, so that's why I think he's a Coton. But yeah, so we ended up getting him. He's going to be 12 years old. He was about a year old when we got him in 2015. 2015.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he is the smallest. He is the most energetic. And he is the instigator.
Troublemaker.
He is the troublemaker. But dang it, look at that face. This is how I got him.
Yeah, he likes to let anyone that comes around our camper know that he's in the camper, or if we're outside the camper, he makes sure to let them know that this is his campsite and you're not welcome.
He is the most loyal dog.
And he's very nice. He's not mean. He's very friendly, even though he barks.
Yeah, he just likes to talk trash.
Mm-hmm.
He's a trash talker.
He is so loyal to her wherever she goes.
As you can see, he likes to sit right beside me. When I'm working, he likes to sit underneath of my legs, right beside. He has to be in my vicinity at all times. So,
and he always gets cool hairdos and gets his tail dyed different colors.
Yeah, because I actually did creative grooming at one point, so he gets a little touch of color, and he loves it.
He does.
He just sits there and he's like, "Okay, do whatever. I love this, Mom. Give me all the attention." So yeah, he gets a touch of color.
He's very smart too. He's a very, very intelligent dog.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Sometimes we're we tell him what we're saying. He just chooses not to listen sometimes.
Yeah, he's getting old and ornery, as all dogs do. So, yeah, he's in that phase of life, which is always a fun phase.
But when we're in the RV, his favorite spot in the RV is to go underneath of the dinette, whether it's up or down. He likes to be under there. He likes little cave areas. He's almost like a cat in that way. But he's definitely a great little RV dog. He tucks into any of the little small spots that he can, and he loves going on walks with us, with the other dogs, and just exploring. And we even got him in West Virginia. He even got in the river a little bit and, didn't swim, but got to wade around a little, which is, something that we don't do very often with them. And he loved that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he's a good boy. So now we got to introduce your sister.
All right. It's your sister's turn.
You can go back and lay back down in your spot. Good boy.
Come on, honey. Come on, honey. Come on, big girl.
This is our little potato. Yes, tell them. Give them all the snorts.
All the snorts.
Yeah. So she is actually going to be 9 this year. We ended up getting her in 2020. She actually was one that both of us, we were talking about getting, a Frenchie, but we wanted to rescue one. Frenchies are notorious for being breeder dogs, and that is one of the reasons we ended up getting her. She actually was a dog used for breeding, and when we both found her, I drove 3 hours to go visit with her. And when I met her, I was like, there's no way we're leaving without her. Because, she was dirty. They named her Money, which made my heart hurt because I know that dogs that are bred, especially Frenchies, are very expensive. But to name the dog Money, ugh. So we changed it. We changed it to Honey because it was the closest to like still sounding like the original name she had. But look at her. That is a honey girl right there.
She is very camera shy. She doesn't ever like to be on camera.
And she's one of those, like, she'll look any other direction when you try to take photos of her. Her baby girl.
Mm-hmm. And when we got her home, it was really sad that like how bad she was. Like when she gave her first bath, like there was so much dirt that came off of her. Mm-hmm. She's even got like little scars on her legs and stuff. We don't know what those are from. You know, she was just not in a good situation at all. So she is definitely adapted to the comfort life of living with us. And she absolutely loves RV life. When we're driving down the road, she'll nuzzle in between the seats right by the engine where it's nice and toasty warm. And we'll just sit there and hear her just like sawing logs, snoring away the whole time.
She is definitely, the first night we got her, we didn't really realize how loud a Frenchie can snore. You know, and sometimes when they're really tired or stressed, it can be even louder. But my goodness, it was so loud. It was
like a dirt bike in the bedroom.
Yeah, it was. But she's our little guard dog. She likes to stare out the back door. She'll tell us when deer are walking through or a leaf blows in the yard. You know, she tells us all about it.
It's great in the RV too, because like if we're RVing somewhere and she hears a noise, like, you know, the door of the RV or something, you know, she'll alert us and let us know, which is really nice because, you know, I snore pretty soundly or sleep pretty soundly and snore too.
Same.
But you know, but she's great about like letting us know if she hears anything. And fun fact, she will grab a mouse. If a mouse gets into the RV, she will grab the mouse and bring it over to us. So
we've had one in the house before. So yeah,
she's a good hunter.
She's a mouser. Mm-hmm. She also just loves to lay in the sun. So when she lays in the sun, we call her the baked potato because just that's baking. What she's doing. She's baking in the sun.
And she and Zeke are inseparable. They will cram into the smallest bed possible.
As they were both in the same
bed. Which they were just
now.
beside us. Any way they can, they want to snuggle and always be together. And, you know, it's really adorable to watch them. They'll play together. They'll give each other kisses. And, you know, if she's ever, you know, not feeling well, which, you know, recently in the last year or so, we found out that, you know, Frenchies aren't supposed to jump off of furniture.
Yeah.
And she did in excitement to go run at the back door to get a squirrel or whatever and hurt her back. And it was pretty incredible to see Zeke just kind of nurturing and making sure she was okay when she was hurt. And it ended up being okay. We were able to get her some medication and get her to relax. But
she's not allowed on furniture unless we're holding on tight.
Yes, unless we're holding. That's why we're kind of surrounding her here, is because we don't want her to jump down. We don't want to take the risks. She's got real short, stubby legs, and they're just not designed for jumping when she's got this big muscular body behind her.
Yeah, the way that their backs kind of curve, it can actually blow out some discs in the process. So thankfully, it was just, you know, an injury in the process. Injury, yeah. But to avoid any further damage, we don't allow her up on the couch unless we are holding on or guarding her, blocking her from getting down.
Now she does fine. She does fine on stairs. Like she goes up and down the RV stairs fine. We do put a little step stool at the base of the RV. So that way it's easier for us and for her to get in and out. And she does great with that. But if she ever comes up on the sofa in the RV, we bring her up and then we put her back down. We just don't take the risk with her. And she doesn't mind. She loves to snuggle Zeke. So honestly, she'd rather snuggle him than us.
As you saw, they were snuggling, and that is how they live most of their lives, is just snuggle buddies beside each other because the cuddle is real.
All right, we gotta get to your brother now.
All right. Good girl.
All right, Zeke.
Zeke, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Good boy.
This is my boy.
So, Mr. Zeke. So, before we tell you about Zeke, I kind of have to tell you, we actually had large dogs before. And in 2020 and in 2021, we lost them, both at the age of 13, a year apart. And then we had a year where it was just the two minions. And then, you know, I had a dream. I had a dream that we needed another dog because we are big dog people, and we were missing that in our lives. So, your dreams tell you a lot. And thankfully, he goes with my crazy ideas most of the time, because both of us started looking. We ended up going to a shelter that we used to live close to, that is a kill shelter. And we wanted to rescue one that had been there for a while. This guy had been there for multiple months. And we were looking at him and another girl, a little pitty. She was so sweet, but she just seemed very dog reactive, where he kind of was so docile while he was there. He was in the back of the cage. He wasn't making any noises. He looked disheartened.
Yeah, he looked very sad. Like he was down, and I was actually down too. So it was like I almost kind of connected with him in the shelter, because when we lost our pit bull, that was my Christmas present, years ago. It was a puppy pit bull, and
from me
and from her, and I raised him and I trained with him, and I had a bond that I'd never had with an animal before. And when I lost him, it kind of broke me a little. So.
And since he worked from home, that was like his coworker that he didn't have anymore. And so, we actually ended up choosing Zeke. And somebody else was actually trying to choose him at the same time. His name was Martin when he was in the shelter. And the people saw, how we interacted with him, and they were like, he's meant for you guys. So, but we weren't allowed to take him home that day.
Because he wasn't fixed yet.
Yeah, he wasn't fixed yet. So, in order for us to adopt him, I actually had to pick him up from a vet clinic after he got his boys taken out. So he was doped up in pain. And then that is when he got introduced to a whole new place. So
and a new pack.
And a new pack. We kept them separate at first, but did like a slow introduction, but man, did he just like mesh so quickly. Him and Honey obviously hit it off. The boys are good friends as well. So
yeah, they all get along great. They love each other. They mesh well. They kind of give a good balance. They balance each other out. And little did we know, we should have known, that he was going to open up more as he got to know us. But we have a little phrase for him called Zeke the Streak, because he gets the zoomies and that butt starts scooting and he is zooming all over. Yeah. So we definitely learned a little bit about him, and I learned that, found out over time that he does have a little bit of anxiety. He gets very shy and timid sometimes to new people. And, that's something that I've worked with him with training on, and he has taken to training so well. He's still a little skittish and still gets scared at times, but boy, does he love the training and, getting to explore things and,
he's
go
come
to
out
new
of his
places.
shell so much.
He really has.
So
he is, he's become part of the family and part of the pack, and he loves RVing too, and he's going anywhere that his little girl Honey's going.
He loves going on walks. That is his favorite thing. That nose doesn't stop. We actually did a DNA test. He's definitely part hound, and it shows during our walks. But when we got him, the vets, think that he was about 2 years old. So he's going to be 6 this year. So, we got a 6, a 9, and a 12-year-old little crew. And we just wanted to share our crew with you.
Yeah, he's not only mixed with hound, but part husky. So on our videos, you may have seen him talking. He's a very talkative guy. Not all the time. Certain times we've been working with him to try and get him to talk more.
To say I love you.
Yeah, to say I love you.
Taking it up very well.
He's doing good at it. Yeah. So that's our story. That's our journey. This is our pack. There's more to come. Obviously our journey's not over, but we wanted to kind of get on here and share with you guys a little bit of us and our family.
Since it's still cold and nasty outside, we can't really do a lot right now.
It's about 15 degrees outside. The wind chill's dropping it down to about 5 degrees.
Yesterday the wind was crazy.
Yeah, we had up to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and it was what did they say? The wind chill was -20. So not something that you want to be out in. So we will get you guys out on some adventures. We have been working on packing and getting stuff donated and into storage. It's just trying to record out in the cold while we're doing that. It's just not, it's not feasible.
The snow is still out there and it is frozen solid because it's just like,
what do they call it? Snowcrete is what they call it.
Yeah, it is. It's so solid that it's hard to even walk around on because it's just ice.
Yep.
We're waiting for that sun to come out, melt it, so we can get more to the
next week they're saying 40s unit. And then going up to 50s. So hopefully we'll get some melt out and we can get you guys some more adventures. But we're going to keep bringing you guys along through this whole process. We're hammering away at it. Our goal is to in April to get this thing on the this house on the market so we can hit the road and start taking you guys to some really cool places.
We want to go the really cool places, so we can't wait to show it to you.
Guys. Yeah, for sure. So if you're not already, and you guys like, our story and travel and adventure, dogs, grooming, automotive repair, RV repair and maintenance, make sure that you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. Please comment and let us know what you guys think or what you guys would like to see.
Are you interested in seeing some grooming tips? I mean, I've been doing it for a long while, so, I'm definitely here for some of those. And
we love your guys' input.
Yeah.
So, anything that you guys can share with us, any tips even that you guys may have, let us know. But we just wanted to get on here to let you guys know a little bit about us and a little bit about our family so that you guys know who we are. And it's not just watching some stranger on YouTube.
Thanks for letting us introduce our kids. We call them our dids.
Our dids.
Our dog kids.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.